Forever could never be long enough for me. Feel like I've had long enough with you. Forget the world now, we won't let them see. But there's one thing left to do. Now that the weight has lifted, love has surely shifted my way. Marry me today and every day. Marry me. If I ever get the nerve to say hello in this cafe, say you will.
Cross your arm, baby. Cross your arm.
Say you will.
The most important thing is that this couple is right for each other, and I believe that they are, don't you? So, Mr. Snyderman, who gives this bride away?
Her mother and I do.
Cool. Go ahead.
Oh, you buddy.
Sorry.
You all can be seated.
Tina's going to coach him through the whole thing.
Nathan, will you have Caroline to be your wife, and will you pledge your faithfulness to her in all love and honor, in all faith and tenderness, to live with her and to cherish her in the bonds of marriage?
I will.
And Caroline, will you have Nathan to be your husband, and will you pledge your faithfulness to him in all love and honor, and all faith and tenderness, to live with him and to cherish him in the bonds of marriage?
I will.
Right now, Susie Snyderman is going to share a reading with us.
These are the hands of your best friend, young and strong, that are holding yours on your wedding day, as you promise to love each other today, tomorrow, and forever. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future. These are the hands that will love and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch will comfort you like no other. These are the hands that will hold you when fear or grief fills your mind. These are the hands that will wipe the tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow and tears of joy. These are the hands that will tenderly hold your children. These are the hands that will help you to hold your family as one. These are the hands that will give you strength when you need it. These are the hands that, even wrinkled and aged, will still be reaching for yours, still giving you the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. May these hands always reach out with love, tenderness, and respect. May these hands be the ones you hold forever.
I'll direct most of my comments just to the two of you, like we're having a little conversation. In the Bible, in Genesis chapter 2, God made the earth, and he made everything out of the dust of the earth, including man. And then after he made man, he said, that's not good enough. Man needs a helper. But he didn't make the helper out of the dust of the earth. While man was sleeping, he took one of man's ribs, and he said, from this I'm going to make woman to be by his side and to help him. And then, ironically, the woman gives birth to the man, and so neither one of you can live without the other. And Genesis 2:24 says, "For this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and they will become serious vows." And you're about to take some serious vows. I've never done a wedding ceremony, and I'm glad you all asked me to do this, but I did a little research and I read up on vows. And one of the things that many people wrote about vows is that they're quickly taken and soon forgotten. And I don't want that. I don't want that for you all. So we're going to talk about vows just a minute. And before we get into that, I want to remind you of 1 Corinthians 13, which is probably the most common expression of love that people cite. And when you think about these vows, think about it against this backdrop. And when Paul wrote 1 Corinthians 13, he said, "I'm going to tell you the most excellent way." He didn't say it was the easiest way, and it's not. He didn't say it's the most common way, and it's not. He said it's the most excellent way. And when I thought about this and think about, instead of reading it, just talking about it, I think of this banner. And I think of this banner, and at the top it says, "Love is." What is love? Love is. Love is patient. Love is kind. And then actually in my notes here, the second part, I drew this big circle with a cross through it because it's all the things that love is not. And it says love does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. You've got some genes that struggle with that one, but it's not. Love is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Wouldn't that be nice? No record of wrongs. It does not delight in evil, but rejoices in truth. And beneath this, in my mind anyway, beneath this big circle with a cross through it of all the things love isn't, this is what love is, this is what love isn't, but at the bottom, it's what love always does. And people will usually say, don't use always and never, but it says always. It always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes, and it always perseveres. Remember that. It always perseveres. So against that backdrop, I want to talk to you about these vows that you're going to take. The first thing you're going to say is you're going to say, "I take you. I take you, Caroline. I take you, Nathan." Each of you comes with a history and a story that includes successes and failures and idiosyncrasies and habits and maybe a few family crazy members. But you take each other where you are right now. And this commitment will absolutely require you to give of yourselves. But at the same time, don't completely lose yourselves. And during those rare occasions when the blend isn't perfect, just remember, that's just how he is. That's how I got him. That's how she is. Because after all, that's what brought you together in the first place. I take you to have and to hold. To have and to hold. Well, to have means to claim and to belong. Nathan and I talked at the lake over a campfire, and I said, "Well, Nathan, you know Carolyn well. You've been with her a long time. What do you think's going to change?" And he said, "Well, I don't think anything's going to change." Well, I bet it does. But he said, "What I really am looking forward to is I just want to be able to call her Mrs. Gardner. And look at your beautiful bride that you are about to have." And Caroline can look at him and say, "That's my man on the sidelines," and that's having. But then to hold is a little something more, to have and to hold. And the thing that I love best about what you all have both said to me at different points, and the common thread is I'm marrying my best friend. Nathan said it last night. I asked Caroline today, I said, "Caroline, you've been close for a while. What changes what do you expect is going to be different?" And she said, "Well, it is going to be different. I can even sense it now. In the past few weeks, it's been changing. He's been my best friend, and that's what makes it so special. But I feel like we've become even closer the closer we've gotten to today." To have is to claim for yourself and for the world to know, but to hold, the holding occurs in the quiet confines where love protects and trusts and hopes and perseveres. To have and to hold for better or for worse. And we're going to get into the part of the vows where you take the good with the bad, for better and for worse. There will be highs and lows. You all will get the best of each other and you will get the worst of each other. I asked Nathan on the way over, tell me the best and the worst about Caroline, and he told me the best, and he said, I really can't think of anything I'd put in the worst. I said, well, is there anything that gets on your nerves? He said, no, I really can't think of anything, but trust me, you will test each other. You will test each other, and circumstances will test you. Jobs will test you. Basketball will test you. It will test both of you. If you have children, and I hope you do, children will test you, and finances will test you, and in-laws and parents will test you, and holidays will test you, and in-laws and parents at the holidays will test you. There will be highs and lows, but remember that banner. Love is patient, love is kind. It is not easily angered. I'm not going to keep any record of wrongs. I'm not even going to bring up what I had to give up with or put up with the last time. For better or for worse, for richer or poorer. And when I think about for richer or for poorer, I can hear Nathan saying, well, we've got the poor part down. Well, you may think you do. We'll wait until these wedding bills come in.
Hey, we're there.
or the kids come along. But you know what? Sometimes the greater challenge is the richer part. That's a challenge, too, because sometimes she may say, you know, I really would like some dining room furniture. And you think, we're going to use that 3 times a year? Why don't we get a boat? So sometimes the richer part is a challenge, too, and you'll work on it and you'll work through it. But when you get to those crossroads, I hope you remember where you are, or at least where I think you are today. And where I think you are today is, if I had to trade it all in and live on a dirt floor, that's what I'd do as long as I could have you. For richer or poorer, in sickness and in health. Health, that's the easy part. You're young, you're beautiful, you're in good health. Caroline could say, my gosh, you should see my man do bike tricks. He can still do bike tricks. We were over at their house one night, and he puts a bike in the back of his pickup truck without a ramp. He can pop a wheelie and get his bike in the pickup truck. He's young and he's healthy. But you won't always be as young and healthy and externally beautiful as you are now. Nathan, look at me. Look at your brother. Look at your dad. Caroline, based on your mom and Mimi, there's a lot more hope for you. But you all are going to have to take care of each other. And I want you to take a moment and I want you to look at the people who are here. Turn around and look at them. Because you have in this audience some of the most beautiful examples there are of people who have loved in sickness and in health. And when you have time, I encourage you to look up the name Robertson McQuilkin. Robertson McQuilkin gave a famous speech. It was a resignation speech. He was the president of Columbia International University, and he resigned so he could take care of his wife, who was suffering from Alzheimer's. And he said, my life has not been one of easy decision-making, but this is one of the simplest and clearest ones I've had to make. She's in distress, and I must be with her at all times. And it's not that I have to, it's that I get to. Remember that banner. Love is not proud. It is not self-seeking. It always protects. In sickness and in health, in joy and in sorrow. Joy, that's the easy part. Today is a joyful day. I asked Nathan what was special about Caroline, and he said, the thing about Caroline is when I'm with her, I never want to be doing anything else. I can't think of a time where I've thought I'd rather be with somebody else or doing something else. And you all are very good at making the most out of it. Cookouts and campfires with friends. You have fun at the lake. You have great friends. You are great friends. You're great hosts. And I hope you awaken with joy every day, and I hope that lasts until the next dawn comes. But marriage is not always a sugar bowl. It's not always a sugar bowl because sometimes you're going to be sad. And out of nowhere, something extinguishes a hope or a dream that you've kept crossing your fingers for. And you will lose people that you love, and it will throw you off. But be patient. Don't be angered. Seek the other, not yourself. Keep protecting, trusting, hoping, persevering. To love and to cherish as long as we both shall live. And this is something that's even deeper here. It's like an aged and seasoned bourbon or wine. And when I think about to love and to cherish as long as we both shall live, I can't help but think of grandparents. You know, Caroline, last night we've got all these guys in suits, and I asked her, Mimi, I said, well, who would you like to escort you tomorrow? And she said, my husband will escort me. She wanted David to escort her, and I watched them during dinner, and I can tell they love and cherish. And Nathan, you've only met one grandparent, and she was married to the one whose name you bear. And if she were here today, she'd say, I can't believe it. My little Nathan's getting married. And if she were to lie her head on a pillow tonight, she'd see a picture of a young soldier who died 35 years ago last week and stayed on her dresser as long as I've known her. That's to love and to cherish as long as we both shall live. And she would want you to be happy. And everyone here who has had a long and lasting marriage would want the same for you. So I hope you all will admire the many wonderful examples set by those you love when you take this vow, because it's a bold undertaking. And you will need help. You will need support, and you will need faith. And you all have chosen as an expression of faith to tie a knot together on the cross. And the reference to the cross comes from Ecclesiastes 4:12, which says, though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. But a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. Please join hands and repeat after me. You are. I, Nathan, take you, Caroline,
I, Nathan, take you, Caroline,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
and I promise to be your loving and faithful husband,
and I promise to be your loving and faithful husband,
to have and to hold
To
from
have-
this day forward,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or poor,
for richer or poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
in joy and in sorrow,
in joy and in sorrow,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
for as long as we both shall live.
for as long as we both shall live.
I, Caroline,
Hi,
take you,
Caroline.
Nathan,
Oh, sorry. Caroline, take you, Nathan,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
to be my lawfully wedded husband.
and I promise to be your loving and faithful wife,
And I promise to be your loving and faithful wife,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
for better or for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer or poor,
for richer or poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
in joy and in sorrow,
in joy and in sorrow,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
for as long as we both shall live.
for as long as we both shall live.
You have chosen to exchange rings. You will exchange many gifts in your lifetime together, but none will ever be more meaningful than the rings you're about to exchange. The ring is a never-ending circle intended to symbolize a never-ending love. I give you this ring,
I give you this ring,
a never-ending circle,
a never-ending circle,
as a symbol and pledge of my constant faith
as a symbol and pledge of my constant faith
and abiding love.
and abiding love.
Nathan, I give you this ring,
Nathan, I give you this ring,
a never-ending circle,
a never-ending circle,
as a symbol and pledge
as a symbol and pledge
of my constant faith
of my constant faith
and abiding love.
and abiding love.
By the authority committed to me in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, I now declare you husband and wife. Nathan, congratulations. You may kiss your bride. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Nathan Gardner.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on.
Nathan's so sweet, and I feel like he completes our family.
Caroline, it's so awesome to have you as a part of our family. We're extremely proud of you and what you have done.
He makes Caroline laugh so much. I've never seen her as happy as she is with Nathan.
So I put my glass up, which I do very seldom, and I toast these two beautiful people. Thank you.
Every